Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I've said that and it feels so good. We're finally back in my beauty room today. We're gonna play with some makeup. The girlies are fighting. Tell me why my TikTok For You page is still filled with Bhad Bhabie and Alabama Barker tea. And I am not ashamed to say that I am fully invested. And I was thinking how fun it would be to try and do one half of our face inspired by Danielle's makeup and the other half inspired by Miss Alabama Barker. We used to do these full face comparison style videos all the time and they were my favorite. So we're gonna jump right back into it today. Let's do it. On our right side, we're gonna do Alabama's makeup. She's giving full coverage, beat to the gods like BabyDoll makeup. She actually recently posted a makeup tutorial with the exact products she uses and exactly how she likes to do her makeup. So we're gonna follow that almost to a T. On our left side, we're gonna do Bhad Bhabie's makeup. She doesn't really have anything recent of how she exactly does her makeup routine. Everything was like from 6 years ago when she came out with that makeup brand. All of her recent pictures, like you can tell she's changed how she does her makeup a lot. She used to do way more full glam, but now she's giving more like soft girl makeup. So I'm gonna go off those type of pictures, but we might be doing a little bit more guessing about like how I think she might do her makeup. Now I pulled so many products to get these looks done. We're taking this so seriously. Dusting off the old makeup collection for this one. Let me hydrate. For primer, Alabama said she uses the MAC Strobe Cream, which is actually such a throwback. I used to use this all the time and then just kind of forgot about it. It's super glowy and hydrating, which kind of surprised me for her because I feel like she loves like a matte long wearing makeup look. So I would have thought she'd like to use like a primer that's meant for more long wear, but I don't blame her because this makes your skin look so gorgeous and glowy. For Danielle's side, I'm honestly gonna just go in with some moisturizer because I don't feel like she would give a shit about a primer. I could be wrong, but we don't have much to go off for her. So this is the vibe I'm going with. Seeing Danielle's makeup style evolve over the years has been so cool. She used to do full glam and now she's giving us soft girl vibes and I really am digging it. I feel like it suits her really well. Both sides are prepped. Moving on to foundation. For Alabama's foundation, we're gonna use the Huda Beauty foundation stick. Her go-to is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid, but she also mentioned the Hourglass foundation stick, which is a very similar formula to this one. And I literally just threw out my MAC Studio Fix foundation because it was expired. She goes in with a lot, so we were not shy with our application here. Let's start blending it out. She loves a full coverage, long wearing foundation. This is a little light for my current skin tone, but we're gonna make it work. Did you notice I'm wearing a pajama shirt in honor of Alabama's Get Ready With Me? It's like all she wears in them. So I thought it'd be pretty fitting. On Danielle's side, I feel like she barely wears foundation.
I don't wear no fucking makeup every day, so I'm a naturally pretty bitch.
And even when she is wearing foundation, it still looks very glowy and like skin. So we're gonna do something a little more light coverage. So I'm gonna mix the Charlotte Tilbury foundation with a moisturizer. It's like a buildable medium coverage foundation with such a gorgeous skin-like finish. So once we sheer it out a bit with this moisturizer, it's gonna be perfect. Mix, mix, mix. And I'm just gonna use a little bit less product, obviously, than the other side. Just enough to even out her skin tone and give a nice glow. That sheared out beautifully. You can definitely see the difference in coverage on both sides. If I had a face tat, it would definitely be showing because my giant scab from picking my face is showing. So we'll have to take care of that with concealer. Moving on to concealer, Alabama uses the Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Swan. She specifically likes to go in with like a really light concealer shade and she is pretty heavy-handed with it. She does like a triangle shape under the eye. She goes under her nose, chin, forehead, and the bridge of her nose. She did specify that she likes to go in with a darker foundation than her regular shade, which we did not do today just because I don't have anything darker in that specific formula. But she said that's the key to being a bad bitch. So we're doing what we can, but we may be missing that bad bitch element of a darker foundation shade. You get what I'm saying. Then she likes to spray it with setting spray. She uses the MAC Fix Plus, but I'm gonna use Charlotte Tilbury's. On the other side, we're going with the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. And because Danielle's not always doing like a full glam, full beat, we're gonna be more intentional with where we place this and use a bit less product, but I'm still gonna cover up my zits. And I'm using a little bit of a darker shade because we're not gonna do too much of a brightening effect. I don't know exactly how Danielle does her makeup, but I'm just based off the pictures, this is what it's giving. The concealer's had time to dry. Let's start blending. She uses a beauty sponge to blend out. Oh yeah, that definitely dried down a bit. This is so much product, but Alabama's makeup always looks so fire, so I'm like trusting the process. And who am I to judge? I used to do this much product and probably more. Oh, it is giving flawless though. We're also gonna use that on our lid. We'll use our concealer as like an eyeshadow primer for both sides. She said she likes to use whatever's left on the beauty blender and like go over her brow because she really doesn't like dark brows. We're gonna do that, but I feel like that might work for her because she has blonde hair. I might just look crazy, but we're gonna give it a shot. We're trusting the process. Let's blend out Danielle's side. Moving on to brows, Alabama uses eyeshadow to fill in her brows, so we're going in with the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. She also is always emphasizing how she really doesn't like dark brows, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a lighter shade than my actual natural brow color. Lengthens the tail of her brow, and she really avoids filling in the front of her brow because she doesn't like this part of her brows to like be bold. How she does her brows is actually so out of my comfort zone, but I'm so curious to see what it looks like on me. She takes concealer and she puts it literally right at the front of her brow like that. She feels like it just opens up her face when like the front of her brow is really light. It's looking a little crusty on my brow hairs because I feel like my brow hairs are just really coarse. It's not really laying down nicely. Ah, it looks so good on her though. What the hell? We're blending it through a little. I was scared for a second there. That's actually not bad. Then she uses this Makeup Forever face palette to carve out her brow and give it a more defined look. She also sets her brows, so I'm gonna go in with the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. She likes them to stick up, so we're going in an upward sweeping motion. She does one final step and she'll take a really light eyeshadow. So I'm going in with this one in the Master Mats palette, and she'll just apply that at the front of her brow to further kind of like lighten it. For Bhad Bhabie side, I'm going in with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Detailer. Danielle's brows and lashes are like her most prominent features, but they still look really natural. Like they're not super defined, so I'm not going to be too precise with it. I'm not going to carve it out or anything. Like I want it to look a little natural, a little unruly. Moving on to eyeshadow. For Alabama's side, I'm going to go in with the Makeup by Mario Master Mats palette. She loves the Patrick Ta palette, but I don't have that one, and this one is still pretty similar, so I feel like we'll be good. She works that into her outer corner and just kind of blends it out. Then she'll go back in with that darker shade and use a little bit of a more defined brush to wing that out. She also takes that on her lower lash line a little bit. She has a really bright like inner lid. I'm gonna go in with that light shade and just dust that all over. And she brings that all the way up to her brow. For Danielle's side, I'm going off this picture. Like when she does wear an eyeshadow look, it's just such a subtle sweep of like a light neutral brown. So I'm gonna use this shade from the Master Mats palette and a really big fluffy brush just to give our lid a wash of color. I'm gonna take this dark brown eyeshadow. In this picture, it does look like she has a bit of like a smoked out lash line, so I'm gonna just do that. For eyeliner, Alabama loves a liquid liner pen. I have the Benefit one. She starts her liner from all the way from her inner corner. I don't think I've rocked a liquid liner wing in literally years. I almost forgot how to do it. On Bhad Bhabie's side, I'm just gonna go in with the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in All Around White. I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line. I'm referencing this picture right here. I don't know if she always does this. I feel like for the most part, her lower lashes always look pretty bare. Moving on to lashes. For Alabama's side, I'm using Lily Lashes in the style Miami. She uses the Bomb Extension Naomi falsies, but this is a really similar style from what I can tell. I haven't done a full volume lash like this in so long. Like I forgot how fun it is to just play with makeup. On Bhad Bhabie's side, you bet we're going with a lash. I feel like that's what you first think of when you think of Bhad Bhabie's makeup too. Like she just loves a full volume lash. I did find a lash tutorial from like 6 years ago, and she puts her lash glue on the very top of the band. I don't know if she still does it like this. We need an updated tutorial on your makeup, Danielle, please. And she puts it underneath her lash, but let me actually put on some mascara first. I'm using Charlotte Tilbury's Exaggerize Volume Mascara. Alabama puts mascara on after putting on lashes to kind of blend it in, and then she puts the tiniest bit on her lower lashes too. And on Danielle's side, I'm just gonna do it on my upper lashes. She'll apply her falsies underneath her natural lashes. Whew. That's difficult. Apparently my mic died in the middle of filming because I'm editing this video right now and all of the rest of the footage is muted. So I'm gonna have to do the rest of this thing in voiceover and just hope that you guys will bear with me. What a rookie mistake. Clearly I forgot how to be a YouTuber. Moving on to contour, Alabama uses the Makeup Forever face palette. I went in with this lighter shade at first, but then swapped over to the more like cool tone brown right next to it so we can really chisel out. And she likes to use this on the high points of her cheekbones, like for a more lifted effect. She doesn't use very much on her forehead, but she goes in on her jawline. On the other side, we're doing Rare Beauty's bronzing stick because again, going off her recent photos, like it doesn't look like she contours, but she definitely bronzes. So I'm sticking to a more warm tone and I'm putting a real minimal amount just for a little extra warmth, but not chiseling out, you know? We're trying to keep it soft when Alabama's side is definitely more high contrast and like full glam. For setting powder, we're going in with Fenty Beauty's setting powder in the shade Butter. This has like a little bit of a tint to it, which Alabama really loves because it gives a brightening effect, and she is all about a brightened under eye, let me tell you. Putting a good amount on her under eye, we are baking with that powder. She's also not shy about putting powder in her eyebrows, so she kind of uses it there and chisels out her cheek with it too. The key thing with baking is to let it sit for a little bit, so we're moving on to the other side, and I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush setting powder, opting for a pressed powder for Danielle's side rather than a loose setting powder because I want to dust the lightest amount to really be intentional with where we're mattifying to make sure we're just using it to set where we need and keeping most of the glow on the rest of our face. When there was no more product on the brush, I used it on Alabama side to dust off our baking powder. For bronzer, I'm using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil powder. This is the exact one that Alabama uses. And on her side, we're sticking to a high cheekbone placement, using it for that lifting effect that she loves to do. I feel like she has a small forehead, so maybe that's why she doesn't put a lot on her forehead. And she does use it to contour her nose, along the bridge of her nose and underneath for a little button effect. Versus Bhad Bhabie side, we are using the same bronzer as well, but the placement and how we apply it is going to be totally different. To get a really nice diffused blend all over our cheek, not just sticking to the high cheekbone part, you know? I feel like this is what makes it look natural, especially going off this photo that I was referencing. Like, she's super bronzed up, but it's so like softly diffused, keeping it looking super natural instead of like the snatched look on Alabama side. Moving on to powder blush, I'm using this YSL one. It's like this beautiful baby pink color, and that's what Alabama uses. She uses specifically like a Kylie Cosmetics one, but this one's really similar in shade, and the way she applies it is so interesting. She like goes directly underneath her eye, like she doesn't take it up her cheekbone. So this placement was so new to me, but I loved the way it looked. Like, I feel like I'm gonna start doing my blush like this. For Miss Bhad Bhabie side, we were going with a way more neutral shade of a blush. It had a little bit of a shimmer to it because we're sticking with that glowy natural look, and the way this diffused into the bronzer like was chef's kiss. I even used it on other high points of my face to keep a nice cohesive like sun-kissed look. I had to go back to Alabama side because I feel like the blush I used was a little bit too sheer and shimmery, so I went in with this matte Dior one. It's the same BabyDoll color. I just needed something with a little more pigment. The way I haven't touched a powder highlighter in so long, but Alabama does, so we're doing it today. I'm going in with this Makeup by Mario one in the shade Pearl, and I loved her placement of this. She does it just on the apples of her cheeks, which I feel like looks so much more natural than like the traditional cheekbone placement. She also uses it to highlight the bridge of her nose. And Bhad Bhabie is giving glowy too, so I put that right in the center. They can share that nose highlight, but I didn't do any other highlighter on Bhad Bhabie side. I feel like we're gonna leave that to just give a natural glow when we use setting spray. Alabama is literally known for her lip combos. She usually always uses two types of lip pencils. One's more of like a brown, so I'm going in with Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine. This is the exact one she used in her makeup tutorial, but then she uses a little bit more pink toned one, so I'm going in with Soar from MAC, and she overlines a lot like through the entirety of her lip shape. Her favorite hack is taking some concealer and using that to turn basically any lip into a nude lip. She puts that right in the center and kind of blends it out. I haven't done this since literally high school, but low-key it's a good hack to make your lip more nude. Then going in with MAC's Cream Cup lipstick. She also really loves Creme de Nude, and she finishes up with a pinky gloss. So I'm using the Huda Beauty one in Sugar Baby. So she does have a lot of steps for her lip combo, but it usually slays. I just kind of wish I used a darker brown lip liner because I feel like that's what she's known for, and for some reason this shade looks really pink on me. Bhad Bhabie on the other hand, most of her pictures I swear she's just wearing like a lip balm, but if she is doing a little liner, it's giving a neutral brown. So we're going with Strip Down from MAC, and again, I don't know why this was looking so warm toned on me, but from what I can tell, she mostly only overlines and rounds out her Cupid's bow, and then the rest of her lip she's just following her natural lip shape. So it's a lot less overlining than what Alabama does, and just top it off with some clear gloss. When it comes to setting spray, Miss Alabama says more is more. She goes in with 3 different setting sprays. She'll do MAC Fix Plus to melt everything, Charlotte Tilbury to give her some glow, and then she'll lock it all in with a really long wear mattifying setting spray. Her favorite is the one size one, but I'm using Urban Decay's tried and true all-nighter setting spray, but just kept it to the Charlotte Tilbury one on Bhad Bhabie's side for some glow. All that was left to do was the final touches. You know, I had to do Alabama's iconic fake mole and Bhad Bhabie's little heart face tap. And there we have it. Both sides are done. I did my best to recreate how I think each girl did their makeup. On Alabama's side, it's definitely giving more snatched, full glam BabyDoll makeup. Bhad Bhabie's side, we kept it more glowy and natural, keeping the focus on her bold brows and lashes. I don't know if I can pick which side I like better. I feel like Bhad Bhabie's side is definitely more similar to how I do my makeup right now, but Alabama's side brings me back to when I was having so much fun with makeup. Like, she definitely does more is more. I love trying out the new placement of blush and highlight, how she does it. The brows, on the other hand, I don't think I can get on board. It looks so great on her, but I don't think it suits me. And both sides are great just for different occasions. I definitely lean more towards the Bhad Bhabie side for every day, but on a night out when I'm going off and need some long wearing glam, I'm probably doing more of Alabama's techniques. What do you guys think? How did I do? Which side do you like better? That's all for this video. I had so much fun finally getting back into playing with makeup. Let me know what you guys want to see from me next. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Bye.